Well, welcome to Norfolk, and this is the very grand and splendid Blickling Hall here on the edge of Elsham, area of Norfolk that straddles Broadland and North Norfolk. But this isn't actually what we've come to video or show you today. This video is all about the cottages that sprung up and support the running of this hall around the little charming village that is Blickling. And just on the side of the hall, tucked in behind the church, this is one of the first cottages of Blickling village. This all sits in National Trust land and its own garden. This one's residential. Gardener's busily working away here. This is actually the garden door into number 10, which is the cottage we've just shown you. Surrounded by this beautiful, tall 10 to 12 feet red brick wall. And their location really is tucked just in on the back of the courtyard here that runs up to the large barn and outbuildings on the side and rear of the hall itself. Tucked right up in the corner is number 9, which is the farmyard and dairy house, which, as the name suggests, is the old dairy. Beautifully wooded here in the back of the church. 2 private entrances for residents. And just tucked in behind the old dairy, next to the church, one of the splendid Blickling Estate houses, the old rectory. Sits peacefully with a field of sheep, looking very splendid with the sun setting behind it. We're now on the western aspect of the hall, and the first building that you come to is the Buckinghamshire Arms. This is a beautiful red brick Dutch gable end building dating from early part of the 18th century, and it's now run as a very well respected and popular pub and restaurant. This time of year they've got a marquee in the back and do a lot of covers in the garden, which is a lovely place to walk to and have a drink in the evenings. But let's go around and see what further buildings we can find in this building and village. Number 8. What a quintessential rural English cottage this is. Just look at the woodwork in the gable end. Old bits of wood, stucco limewash render, combination of red pan tile and the original older thatch, and tall leaded windows, and surrounded by the most beautiful, quiet and quite private cottage garden. Lovely spot. Number 8 and the Buckinghamshire Arms are actually located on what was originally the main Blickling Road that we're on at the moment. This has now been bypassed to the southern aspect, so no traffic comes up here, which must be a great relief to the little village that we're about to show you. First house you come to on your left is Blacksmith Cottage. Another beautiful example of a small English thatch cottage with stucco render, built out of red bricks and with its own garden. Opposite Blacksmiths is this tiny little pathway going back to this further cottage, set in an absolutely delightful cottage garden. And this is the very busy roundabout in the centre of Blickling village. As road junctions go, this probably has to be one of the most sleepy and quiet roads. That is really a road to nowhere. We're going to take you down there in a minute and show you the entrance to the great park. Number 4, Parkgate Cottage in the Blickling Estate with its garden. And a little further along the old Blickling Road is the now disused Blickling Old Schoolhouse. There's a good information board by the old schoolhouse, including this old graphic of it, and class of pupils. I think this was taken in around the 1950s or 1960s. The school itself was paid for by the 8th Marquess of Lothian in 1867, and the architect was Robert Bartram, a local Aylsham-based architect. It originally just had one room, but additional classrooms were added in 1874. Just behind the schoolhouse is the main car park for the Blickling Hall National Trust visitors, and the old barn, which is now an additional tea room, the Muddy Boots Cafe and toilet block. This is perhaps one of the quaintest little cottages on the estate. Tiny little double fronted aspect. Does extend a little bit down the back. This beautiful kept cottage garden. This one's actually a holiday let now. And opposite, these beautiful 19th century red brick, red pan tile cottages, leading our way down to the gated entrance to the great park here at Blickling. And these cottages have this wonderful location just tucked in on the side of this entrance. What an absolutely wonderful place to either come and stay or live. I hope you've enjoyed this mini little tour around the village here on the Blickling Estate. We've only shown you a fraction of the actual cottages. There are a total of 125 spread across the almost 4,000 acres of Blickling, but it's hopefully given you a taste of what to expect on a visit here to this part of Norfolk. And we're going to end here at St Peter's, which is the Parish Church for the village of Blickling, just being outlined beautifully by the evening sun on this absolutely beautiful Norfolk evening. Still around 27 degrees here, 7 o'clock in the evening, and we've had blue skies all day. Absolutely wonderful part of the world. Do come and visit.